Hi everyone, Tom Moffat here. Welcome to BUS 115, Personal Finance. During the next 8 weeks, we're going to be talking about some fundamental concepts and components of managing your personal finances. For example, we'll be talking about creating a personal balance sheet and a cash flow statement. I'll be covering budgeting and taxes. We'll talk about credit and insurance. We'll go over some of the investing options that are available to you, as well as some areas of estate planning. You'll complete a personal financial plan, which will help you put all these topics into practice. Well, when you log into the course, the first thing you're going to see is the home page, which you see here. And I encourage you to take some time to explore each of the menu items in the left column over here on this side, especially if this is your first online class. I want to draw your attention to some specific areas. One is the announcements and the modules, this navigation tab here, and discussions. I make lots of announcements, so please check the announcements on a regular basis, at least 3 to 4 times a week. You can get to announcements by clicking on the course announcements navigation link, which will display any announcements that have been posted. There's none posted here, but if there are some posted, you'll see those here. Or if you're on the home page, back on the home page, you can click here under course announcements, and it will take you to the same page. So let's take a look at the modules navigation link for a minute. On this page at the very top is the course calendar, or I call it the course schedule. You open that link and it will display the course schedule for you. You can also print it. There's a PDF file at the very top here, a link, and you can print that off if you'd like to have a hard copy. The first thing you see here, this is Module 1, and there's 8 modules. In the very left-hand column, there's a list of the assignments for each module. The next column has the due dates, and then this column on the right has the points that are associated with each assignment. If there's a discussion in that assignment, and most modules have a discussion, you'll see 2 dates. The first date is the initial post due date. That's when you make your initial post to the discussion. And then the second date is when the replies to classmates are due. And there's usually 2 replies required for each discussion assignment. Look down further here, you'll see the 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. These are Connect assignments. A couple of them are assignments and 2 of them are quizzes, but they all go through Connect, and I'll talk more about Connect in just a minute. Each of the modules are structured essentially the same way. If we scroll down through here, you see that the structure for those is essentially the same. Let's go back now to the modules page for a minute. As we go down through here, you'll see in this area it talks about how to get started with Connect. So you can read those instructions. Here it talks about an overview and registering, what it means to you, and then Connect support. If you're having trouble with Connect, you can open this link, and it has contact information in here. There's a website for support, and there's a toll-free number you can call. I can tell you my experience with Connect support has been outstanding. They've always been very quick and very thorough, and been able to resolve most any problem that we've ever had. Usually there's not too many problems, but if you do have one, this is a good place to go. So let's go back to the modules page. The next section covers proctoring. There's 1 proctored event required for each course. So this tells you in this area the proctoring requirements and the form for off-campus proctoring. If you're going to be proctoring, have your exam proctored off-campus, and you're not using uh, ProctorU. And it talks about ProctorU up here in the proctoring requirements. This next section is your personal financial plan. There are 6 steps to the personal financial plan. You'll do one every module, except for module 7, I think it is, or maybe it's module 6. But the last 2 modules, the last step, you have 2 weeks to do that one. So now we're going to go on down to here is the module 1 assignments. Here's an overview of module 1. Here's instructions for the introduction discussion. The reading assignments. Chapter 1, Chapter 2. Here's a quiz for Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. And then here's the 1.7, Step 1 of your personal financial plan. We usually do 2 chapters in each module because it's only an 8-week course. So we cover 2 chapters with each module, and that's usually set up on a weekly basis. So I want to show you here where it says 1.7, Step 1. In each step of the personal financial plan, there's a complete description in here of what you would be required to submit. And then there's a rubric for it too if you want to see how I grade it. Let's go back to modules again. Underneath the assignments here, there's some additional materials. The narrated PowerPoint for Chapter 1, and here's one for Chapter 2. I think there's a narrated PowerPoint for each of the chapters that we cover. I think you'll find these especially helpful when you're doing your personal financial plan. There's a PowerPoint in here also, some additional reading materials, financial management risk, $1 today, compound interest. I also have in here a section that has videos in it about different topics involving personal financial planning. Here's some videos for Chapter 1. Here's some for Chapter 2. Now, and this, for example, in Chapter 2, we talk about what's a budget variance. So there's a whole video on budget variances. Now these videos are relatively short. They're just a few minutes. They're not anything like an hour long or anything like that. So I really encourage you to take advantage of the extra materials. Then if you look at Module 2, the structure here, pretty much exactly the same. Here's the overview, the reading assignments, the connect assignments, Step 2 of the personal financial plan, additional materials, additional reading, and chapter videos. If I can just talk a minute about the grades button. Open the grades button here. For each of the assignments that you have, here's the points, and here's the due date, and then this is the assignment. If you want to see the feedback, I hope the feedback is very important. So when you get ready to see the feedback, when you go into your grades area, you click on the links, and it will show you any comments and any feedback that I've made about any of the assignments. And you will get feedback on every assignment with the exception of the Connect assignments. For example, in Module 1, you'll get feedback on the introduction. You'll get feedback on down here on your personal financial plan. In Module 2, critical thinking discussion, you'll get feedback for that. You'll get feedback on Step 2 of your personal financial plan. So there's lots of feedback. If you're having trouble seeing that or you have questions about it when you read it, please let me know, because this is very important that you're able to see what kind of comments that I've made about the assignments that you submitted. Once those assignments are graded, scroll back up here for a second, you'll see the score right here. For example, 20 out of 20, or when you do the Connect assignments, those are automatically graded. They'll show up in here how many points that you've gotten for the Connect assignments. I should also tell you that on Connect assignments, you can do those as many times as you like. If you go through and do a Connect assignment, for example, this 1.3 Chapter 1, Financial Planning in Action, if you don't get all 20 points, you're more than welcome to go back through it again and continue with that assignment until you get all 20 points. So you can do that as many times as you like. Okay. There are two exams for the semester. One is the midterm. Go back to modules here. One is the midterm. It comes after Module 4. Scroll down here. There's Module 3. And there is Module 4. And then here, a little further, here is the midterm exam. And it'll be available to you September 8th. That's not the right date, but it will be available to you for at least a week. I'll have to change the date on that one. And then the second exam is down here, and it is the final exam, and it's a comprehensive exam, meaning it's over all of the material that we've covered throughout the semester, and the personal finance final exam. Let's go back up to, scroll back up to modules, course calendar, course schedule, and let's scroll down here to where it says midterm exam. Yeah, that'll be available to you November 4th through November 10th. It's a 50-point exam. And you're more than welcome to use your book or any notes that you've taken um, to complete that exam. I should also kind of give you advance warning. If you don't read the material or you have no knowledge of any of the first 8 chapters, then it's going to be really hard to complete the midterm exam. And that also is true for the final exam unless you've read the material, because the exams are taken off of the material that we've covered throughout the semester. It's going to be very time consuming to try and go back and look up answers for all the questions. So you want to have some advanced knowledge of the material. Go back to modules. Down at the very bottom here, I think is where I have that. Yeah. Online office hours are available to you. They're on an as requested basis. If you would like to get together online, we use a teleconferencing tool called Zoom, and we can meet online and talk to each other. We can share each other's screen. We can share files. We can go through any assignments that you had, just like we were in a classroom. And I really encourage you, if you have a need, to take advantage of that. Just let me know a little bit in advance when you would like to get together, and then we'll arrange a time that we can both be online, and I'll send you a link to Zoom so that we can actually meet in that meeting space. Wanted to mention also about registering for Connect. Uh, the instructions for registering are up here that I showed you before. Getting started, Connect Access, and then here's the overview and how to register. The easiest way to register is just to go to the first Connect assignment. And when you open up that assignment, if you've not registered before, it will actually walk you through the registration process. Now, one of the first questions it's going to ask you, if you've not registered for Connect before, it's going to want you to register for Connect, and it's going to want your email address. Please use your OTC email address. Once you've entered that, you click Submit. Then it's going to ask you for your registration code. You should have gotten that registration code with the materials that you purchased for the class. And it's very important that you have that registration code because you can't do the Connect assignments without it. The other area you might have an interest in is the syllabus. The syllabus is posted here. And there is a PDF file that you can print the syllabus if you'd like to have a hard copy, and you can keep that with you all.